Walaikum assalam.
Which one is it? Is it Farzan?
Yeah, Farzan.
Good. How are you doing, Farzan?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. Did you read on the chapter on ghusl?
Yeah.
Good boy. What about Rayan? Where is he?
Hello.
Hello, Rayan.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Even better was talking to you all now. MashaAllah, we'll wait a few minutes before we start the class. You read the chapter on ghusl?
Yeah.
Good. So we're going to do only questions. I'm not going to go through the chapter. I'm just going to do discussions on the questions that are there.
Okay.
So let's see who else is there. Okay. Got Shapara. How are you? Assalamu alaikum. Tehzeeb Fatima. Is this somebody new or have you been logging on with another ID before? Tehzeeb Fatima, can you hear me? Not sure if she can hear me. Tehzeeb Fatima. Iman, Assalamu alaikum. Tehzeeb Fatima, can you come on the mic, please? Tehzeeb Fatima, can you hear me? Say something. I'm not so sure. Abbas, Assalamu alaikum. Abbas,
Assalamualaikum, uncle.
alaikum salam, son. How are you doing?
I'm okay. My granddad's just had another cancer in his mouth, so
Oh, I know. Allah bless him.
yeah.
Where's he? Is he at home?
Yeah, lucky should be at home.
Okay, good. Inshallah.
Dad's stressed nowadays, so, you know.
Must be kind of. Inshallah, khair, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Iman. All of you there. Who else is coming? Let's see, there's 7 only at the moment. Give it another couple of minutes. Fahim, Assalamu alaikum. Okay. There's no Murtaza, none of the Hamdani brothers are there. Mehak Zahra, Assalamu alaikum. And right, seems somebody is a new student today by the name of Tehzeeb Fatima because I haven't encountered this ID before. If you can come and talk to me, please. Can you unmute yourself and come and talk to me? Actually, I will unmute Tehzeeb Fatima now. Tehzeeb Fatima, can you say, have you been using another ID or are you a new student today? Well, this student doesn't seem to speak anything. Okay.
Maybe she's having problems with her connection.
Could be. You're right,
That
actually.
sometimes happens.
Yeah, but I have unmuted her, but maybe her connection is not good. Okay. I'll let her be. Inshallah, Tehzeeb Fatima, if you can hear me, you can also write in the chat box so that I can recognize you. Thank you very much. Ghazanfar Hamdani, are you on your own? Alamdar is there as well. Who else is there with you, Ghazanfar?
Sir, you have disabled the chat.
Have I?
Talk.
I have. Oops. Sorry. Something happened. Share screen.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam. Who is this?
It's Ghazanfar.
Oh, hello, Ghazanfar. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. Who is this one?
I'm Fazan Zaidi.
Farzan, hello. We spoke already. Yes.
That was my brother, sir.
Oh. What's your brother's name?
My brother's name is Zayan.
Aha. So I was speaking to Zayan. Okay. So you all on the same ID?
Yeah.
Okay. Can everybody see this on the chat screen?
Yeah.
What have I written?
Ghusl.
On the chat screen.
Hello.
You said hello.
Hello.
Good. Okay, everybody can see that. So, but you all can't write anything?
Let's check. No,
Hope so.
It says
still
chat
disabled for us. It says chat disabled.
Okay. Let me speak to my dear brother who is in charge of these things. Where's he gone? I'll get on the phone with him in a second. Give me a couple of minutes. Darling brother Amir, how do I go about making the chat available for all the students so that they can write to me? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, just the chat. Thanks. Okay, it'll be done in a few seconds, and hopefully you'll all be able to. So I am hoping everybody has read the chapter on ghusl, right? Okay. I want all of you to use the raise
Yeah.
hand option in there. That is there. No mics. I will choose who I want to answer the question. So, ablution, what does it mean? Abbas has already raised the hand without even listening to the question. Okay. Anybody else wants to join in? Raise the hands. Okay, Abbas, unmute yourself. Tell me what is ablution.
To wash oneself for a religious ritual.
Okay. How many types of ablution are there?
There's in Islam.
Yes.
I mean, there's ghusl and wuzu.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I'm sure.
You think you're sure? Anybody want to correct him? Raise your hand, please. Alamdar, Iman wants to say something. Yes, Iman, please
But
unmute
yeah,
yourself.
I mean, ablution's washing, not like tayammum is.
There's tayammum. Okay. Yeah, there's two kinds of ablution. Abbas was very right. Thank you, Iman. And there's two kinds of ablution. One is wudu, and one is ghusl. Tayammum can be a replacement for both wudu, sorry, both wudu and ghusl. So thank you, Iman, for that one. Okay. Anybody know? Raise your hands only. What are the two ways to perform ghusl? What are the two types of ghusl? Okay, Abbas, you won't get another chance, so lower your hand. Somebody else's option now. Who wants to explain the two types of ghusl that are there? Come on, you all read the book. Let's see who is writing. One is ghusl. Okay, thank you, Imran. Very good, very good. Shapara is writing. Very good. Oh, very good. I can see you all have read it. And Farzan is raised hand. Go on, Farzan. Unmute yourself. Talk to me.
So there's ghusl tartibi and
Yeah.
there's ghusl itimasi.
Very good. Are you reading from the book? Yes, no.
No.
Very good. That means you remember. Okay. Farzan, can you explain to me what is ghusl tartibi?
It's like you have to wash like the body in like 5 parts.
What are they? What are the 5 parts?
So the first one is washing the head and the neck,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is to do the right side of the body,
Mm-hmm.
below the neck, which is, and the third one is to do the left bit of your body.
Okay. So you said 5.
It's like divided, like your arm and then your leg.
Okay. Let me stop you there. Thank you very much, Tazib. Alaikum assalam. Yes, I understood, and some of the other students said that you might be having difficulties because I didn't recognize your ID, so that's why. But that's okay. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's good to have you around. We are doing the chapter on ghusl today because I don't think you were there in the last chapter, last class. So we are doing the chapter on ghusl. I had asked everybody to read and study the chapter on ghusl, and we'll do some discussions on the questions. Okay. So we are doing a discussion on the questions on the 5th section of the book 3.1, worksheet 3.1. Okay, and Abbas, yes, you're right. Who was speaking to me? Was it Farzan? Who was answering that question? Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, the question was, what is ghusl tartibi, or who can explain to me what is ghusl tartibi? Tartib actually means done in a sequence of steps. So when you do something in tartib, we call it tartibi. So the direct answer to that particular question would have been a ghusl done in a sequence of steps, continuous steps. And you were right, Farzan, when you said what you explained. But there's only 3 parts to a ghusl tartibi. One is washing your head and neck, and then washing the right side of the body, and washing the left side of the body. That is ghusl tartibi. And Mehak Zahra, thank you very much. Okay, you've explained it to me as well, very kindly. My next question, who's going to explain the other ghusl? What is the other ghusl? At-Tamasi, somebody said. Who's going to explain to me what is ghusl at-Tamasi? Somebody who has not spoken yet. I don't want the same people raising their hands. Ghazanfar, okay, you go first. Murtaza can go later. Ghazanfar, explain to me.
Tamasi, is it that when it's like one stage where you submerge your entire body like underwater?
Very good, very good. Okay, Ghazanfar, I'll take that question further and say, how many types of ghusl iltimasi are there?
Isn't it just one?
You just submerge yourself.
Pardon?
You just submerge yourself, like you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like your whole body.
Anybody wants to raise their hand to expand on what Ghazanfar said, please? Thank you, Ghazanfar. Anybody wants to expand quickly? You all know these answers. Raise your hand. Who wants to expand on what Ghazanfar said, or want to type it out? Chat has been busy. So Shapara, Mac, anybody wants to explain? I'll give a little bit of time. See if somebody wants to type it out, don't want to speak out, they can type it out. Mhm. Nobody's writing. Farzan has raised his hand. Okay, Farzan, go on. You unmute and explain to me.
So when you have to do ghusl iltimasi,
Mhm.
it, it's only like you can only do it in tahir water.
That is perfectly fine. You're very right. But I'm talking that two types of ghusl iltimasi. I'm asking about that. What are the two kinds of ghusl iltimasi? Nobody has written and nobody has said anything. Hassan, okay, Hassan, you can say.
I think one of them is where you submerge yourself into a river, like or a stream, and I think one is when you're like under the shower.
Under the what?
Shower.
Under the shower. Ah, how interesting, Hassan. Thank you for that answer. Good try, but not accurate. Mehek Zara, thank you very much. You have given the correct answer. She's written to me on chat. So to explain to you, you all know this, and if you go to the book, you will see it. One of them is instant submerging, and the other one is gradual submerging. Not not the instant submerging is not done by most people when they're trying to do, or they could be, but instant submerging is when you submerge the entire body straight away into the water all in one go. Like when you dive into the water, it's a pool, whether it's a river, stream, sea, wherever, you just dive in and put the entire body all at one go. Well, there's gradual immersion or gradual submerging, in which you go and you know slowly by slowly you put parts of your body into the water, and that is gradual immersion. Most people like do it that way. Yeah, Shapara, good question, very good question. Always remember, any act of worship needs a niyyah before doing the act. If you don't have niyyah, it's just a shower. It doesn't count as a ritual shower or ritual ghusl. Well, ghusl is a ritual wash or a bath. So if you don't have the intention, you're still not eligible to do your salat, or you're ritually pure to do your saum or fasting. And you're still not eligible to touch the words of the Quran in Arabic because you have not purified yourself ritually. So it is very important, always remember to have your niyyah, because it is such a given. We normally don't speak about it, but yes, it is good to always emphasize the fact that you have to have the intention of performing ghusl, and you have to have the intention of performing the type of ghusl that you are going to perform. Yes, Murtaza, you can speak up, please.
So in the book, it doesn't actually specify like whether you can do ghusl irtimasi in water that's not gur. It actually says in your bathtub, but most bathtubs can't hold 384. It's only about 350 liters. So
Is it?
do it
I didn't know that it can only hold 350 liters. Very, very diligent and very interesting information. I thought it holds more than that. But anyway, if it holds 350 liters of water, then after you've had a bath in your bathtub, make sure you have a ritual ghusl, like washing your head ritually with the intention of ghusl, head and neck, and then washing the right side, just a little bit, just one shot. Don't waste water. Okay, thank you very much. Very good. And you have these questions that are there. What are the three stages in which you must watch, which Fazan had already explained? Question number 4. List 2 conditions for doing ghusl. Who is going to answer that one? Raise your hands only. Anybody? Anybody want to write? Good answer, Mahak Zahra. Good answer, Rayan Jafri. Very good. Yeah. Well, when you say mutlaq, it has to be tahir. Then only it'll be mutlaq. Okay. The first thing is, like you have mentioned, Tazib, Rayan, Mahak Zahra, everything. First of all, an alamdar, you have to have permission to use the water, and the water has to be mutlaq. Mutlaq means it is pure water. You've studied in the last class what is mutlaq and what is mudaf. And Ghazanfar had given a beautiful presentation with all colored graphics and all that. It was very, very nice. So it is what it is, mutlaq water and permission to do ghusl with that water. Okay, if you're running around somewhere, maybe you got dirty with some impurity, for example, and you see somebody's hose pipe is running in the garden, you just go there and just clean your impurity. That is not correct. That is not allowed, because it is, you have not got permission from the owner to use that water. Even if it's your friend, I know lots of people who go to other people's places, they say, can I do namaz at your place, please? It's namaz time. Or you both friends are trying to do, okay, time for namaz, let's do namaz. But you need to do wudu. And you assume that because he's my friend, I know him well or her well, and you think that because you're going to do salat in his place or her place, you actually also, he's going to be or she's going to be okay if you go and do the wudu as well. It's a good idea to seek permission or ask, can I do wudu in the? They'll not normally say no, but just imagine if just before that, if you had an argument, they might say no, you can't do wudu, just in case. So although it is, I'm just being very, very nitty gritty here. Actually, it is sometimes it is assumed that if you're in your friend's house, you can always allowed to use the bathroom. You can always allowed to use the water for wudu and pray on their grounds. However, if you are in doubt, or if you don't know somebody that well, even though they're Muslim, make sure that you seek the permission. Yes, Mahak important point she has put there, that the place of ghusl must be permissible to do it in. Ghazanfar, you raised your hand. Say something.
No, it was accident, sir.
Okay, Murtaza, you raised your hand. Go on.
Relating to the permission thing,
Permission.
the same for namaz as well, right? So
Everything. Yeah.
So like you can be, there are sometimes situations when you don't have anywhere to pray, and the closest place is, for example, a Hindu temple or something. And if they haven't given you permission to pray, what's the best thing to do? Should you not pray at all? Should you just pray anyways? Should you?
That is a difficult one. That's a difficult one. Well, a Hindu temple can be a strange place to pray because it's full of idols and all that. But if you have that, that's the only option, and you don't have any other option, that depends on what the Maharajas say. You can go in and do it. However, you cannot go inside to a place where you don't have permission. But in the temple, going in to pray will not be an issue at all. Maybe they will raise questions about, the way you're praying, but temple is a place of prayer. Church is a place of prayer. However, you must seek permission. Can I pray? But they'll give you strange thing that, of course, this is a place to pray. So you go on and pray. However, you will have to clarify that your prayer is going to be a Muslim prayer. And that can maybe lead to a denial of permission. And once denial of permission is there, then it'll be a wrong act. So it is not going to be valid.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Right. Are you all clear on ghusl? Any more questions coming in, please? I don't have anything else to say on ghusl at this point, although it's a fairly big chapter. There are different types of ghusl, or wajib ghusl, mustahab ghusl, and types of wajib ghusl and all that. But we're not going to go into that. It's the basic stuff that the book talks, and we'll stick to that. Now let's go on to the next chapter, Salah. Is there anybody among my students in this class who is not required to pray, who is not obliged to pray by Islam legally, as in it's not wajib on them to pray. Yes, you can do tayammum ghusl if there is no water in the first place. Secondly, if there is water, but the prayer time will go if you spend time in ghusl, so you have to do tayammum and then pray in case you need an obligatory. Okay, two people who are not obliged to pray, there's no wajib on them, salat is not wajib on them. So alhamdulillah, it is good that you're learning already. May Allah bless you all who are learning and who are already doing their prayers and it's wajib on them. Make sure you don't miss your prayers and make sure you don't take your prayers lightly. I'll tell you something, there's a problem amongst the Shia that they think that, oh, they don't do prayers, but they do majlis. Very good. People who it's not wajib to pray and they're still doing the prayers, they get lots and lots of sawab from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah. So they think that because they do majlis, you know, Imam is going to take care of them. Imam is going to take care of them only if you do the preconditions for you to be called the lover of the Imam or the follower of the Imam. So Imam alayhi salam, all the Imam alayhi salam, from Rasulullah to all the 14 Masumeen, all of them, they were very, very particular about their salah and all the wajibat, the psalm, charity, anything. They were known for all these acts. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, in the battlefield was praying. Before the day of Ashura, they were wanting to attack Imam Hussain alayhi salam's camp and kill them all. But Imam sent Hazrat Abbas to go and seek permission if they can give an extra night so that he could pray to Allah. That was his requirement. So prayers are obligatory, whatever kind of Muslim you are, whatever school you follow. Okay, tayammum is the same way we discussed last class, Ghazan. It's not a tayammum, you know, but the intention, you don't say it's a tayammum ghusl, you say tayammum for obligatory ghusl. The intention is going to be, I'm doing tayammum in place of obligatory ghusl, qurbatan ilallah. And it's the same tayammum that you do. Remember, it's a ritual. It's not meant to purify you. But it's a ritual that you have to undertake to be in a position to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Farzan, you can't hear me? Anybody who can't hear me?
I can hear.
You can hear you? Farzan, it could be something at your end, my friend. Okay, somebody else asking.
Nope, sir, we can hear you clear.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that Farzan?
No, it's me, Mohammed.
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, mashallah, mashallah. Okay, thank you. So salat is something you should never ever take it lightly. You should always try to perform salah in time, every time. Before I go into the chapter on salah, let me make an important announcement. Our classes are going to come to an end after 2 classes, and on the 5th of July there's an exam. There's be an exam for which you need to register by the 28th of June. All of you pay attention to this that I'm saying. 28th of June, it will be an online exam, and the questions will be multiple choice, true and false, and explain in short. Either way. So you can just quickly go through the question answers. It's probably not going to take you more than half an hour to do it, but you will have more than an hour. Or you'll have an hour to do it, actually, not more than an hour. You'll have an hour to do it. So I want all your parents to register for the exam, and you will get an online certificate. But not an online, you got a virtual certificate, not hard copy paper, but you'll get a certificate for the exam, okay? However, I am keen to carry on these classes if you all are keen, and alhamdulillah, everybody can hear me. So I'm happy to carry on these classes, but I can carry it on another forum, as we used to do with the students who studied in Al-Qaim Slough with me. So, okay, I've got a few messages. Hold on a second. What subjects will be the exam on? Okay, thank you, Imran. Okay, the subjects will be what we are studying now. Although we haven't completed the book because I'm going in a lot of detail, and it's hard to complete the whole book in 6 or 8 weeks, whenever it was, or 10 weeks. It will be by the time we finish. Aqaid, fiqh, akhlaq, and history. Okay, now history, I know we haven't done a lot. Akhlaq, I expect you all to know what is in the book. It's very, very basic. Okay, you were rejoining. Okay, I'll say that again. Exam date is 5th of July, and there will be an online exam. Questions will be multiple choice, true and false, and a short explanation. 3 types of questions. And you'll have to answer, and you will get a certificate, which is a virtual certificate, which you can print out if you want to. And it'll be proof that you've done the book 7. So it'll be very important for you to have that certificate, just so that you know that, in case you want to study further, then people ask you, or institutes will ask you, what have you done in basic in Islam? So that you have this proof. You can say, okay, I studied this, that, and the other. Have this proof from the Majlis Ulama Shia Office of Education. They have given you a certificate that I passed the book 7 that the Majlis Ulama print out. And then, 5th of July, 5th of July. Okay, man. Okay, if you're taking book 6, that's fine. If you're taking book 6, that's fine. You have to do book 6 before you can do book 7, right? So you have to do book 6. And although I see you regularly in my class, so I always assume that you are studying book 7. But it will depend which exam you want to take and what exam you're allowed to do. If you want to do book 7 exam, then you can register for book 7 exam. And I'm sure you will do well as well. And if you want to do book 6 exam, it's up to you. If you want to take on book 6, then you will have to study book 7 again and do the book 7 exam. So it will be your choice. And if you want to do both exams, then you can do both exams one after the other. You haven't done any book exams. Hassan, have you studied all the books, or are you just studying book 7? Have you done any book classes of any book at all? You haven't done classes of any book at all. So how come you join straight away in book 7? You're meant to do book 1 first, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. That's how the others have done. So you'll have to check with the MUS office, because I don't think they'll allow you to do book 7 exam. Okay, man, I think we can organize that. You've been regular in the class, and I know that your knowledge up to it, but you can speak to them. And I will put the word through as well that one of the students wants to do the book 7 exam. Okay, Hassan, so you need to do all these books. You need to study the other books before you can come into book 7, right? And if you haven't done any exam, then it'll be a problem. So you will have to speak to the MUS office, the admin team, the brother Amir. Write an email, ask your parents to write an email and say that this is what is the situation and this is what I've done. How old are you, Hassan? Type it out, please. Okay, thank you. Did you get it, Hassan? Speak to the brother Amir. Ask your parents to speak to brother Amir, who is the admin for MUS. And that was the relation which was based off the age, and they put me and Hassan in book 7. Okay. Okay, fine. Fine. As long as the admin are okay, I don't want you all to get into a problem because I have said something and you have not been said something over there. What I know when I've taught in the madrasa is the fact that you have to go through each book one by one. My students who studied in Al-Qaim Slough always, they know that. And I'm sure you also know in your madrasa. I took this chance to explain the exam in the middle of the class because I know that all of you are there present. If you have any more questions regarding registration or anything else, please speak to the admin. Okay, now in history, what I'm trying to say, in history, we haven't touched much. I'll only make sure that I give you questions based on what we have done. And I will do history next week as well, a little bit. So let's now continue on the Topic of Salat. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wherever you are. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Okay, if you have any more questions, type it out and I will answer that at the end of the class, inshallah. Now, hello. Okay, now, so Salat has a few things that is required. First of all, you need to be having wudu or ghusl if you need to have ghusl, and then you need to be facing the Qibla while praying the wajib prayers, and also when you're praying the nafla, if you're in one place. However, if you're doing nafla while you're walking or driving or something, then you don't need to face the Qibla, so it's not wajib. So there are other reasons as well, which if you're doing sajda sahu, if you're doing a qada of a non-rukun parts of salat, I'm going to ask you a question. And I know I've not taught the chapter, but I expect some of you to know this. So we'll have this discussion as well while we go on. How many wajibat are there in salat? Raise your hand only. Listen to the question carefully again. How many wajibat are there in salat? Anybody? Nobody raising your hand?
Sir, there's 12, I think.
Yeah, Muhammad.
Is there 12? 11.
Murtaza, Muhammad.
sorry.
Okay, Muhammad, you didn't raise your hands. My
Sorry.
point was raise your hands and I'll say. Okay, I'll give the chance to Murtaza. Go on, Murtaza.
I think there are 7.
Okay, what are the 7?
Nia, Takbir al-Ihram, Surah Al-Hamd, Ruku, Sajda, Tashahud, and Salam.
Anybody want to add? Muhammad, you want to add on that? Or say something was correct or incorrect?
Yes, sir. So there's Nia, there's Takbir al-Ihram, there's Qiyam, there's Ruku, there's Sajdatain, Qira, Dhikr, Tashahud, Salam, Tartib, and Muwalat.
Okay, are you reading it from the book? Say yes.
Oh, no, sir. It was off memory.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Very well done. Very well done.
Yeah.
Okay, there are 11 wajibat. One thing both of you missed is Qibla. You got to face Qibla as well. So you face Qibla, you do the niyat, you do the qiyam, then you do the qira, then you do the ruku, then you stand up after ruku, which is qiyam after ruku, that is called. Then you do the sajdatain, the 2 sajda. Then you do zikr in ruku and sajda. Then you do the tashahud and the salam. And everything, it has to be in tartib, in sequence, that is. And everything has to be under the condition of muwalat. Who's going to explain what is muwalat? Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand. Muhammad Ali.
Yes, sir. It means continuity.
Continuity. Explain in more detail what is continuity. What do you mean continuity?
It's one action after the other without.
But is it a tartib?
Nah. Tartib is order.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Muhammad. You're good. Imran,
No
good
problem,
one.
sir.
Good one. The main thing is muwalat means there should not be a gap in one thing after the other. It should be sort of at the same speed with the same time interval. You can't just be sitting and thinking about something for 10 minutes and then say, oh I need to recite this. Yes, your question, please. Do you have to face Qibla when you do a sad from the Quran or a surah? Sorry, this is something autocorrect, sajda from the Quran. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay. So it's only in the time of prayer that you need to be facing the Qibla. It's not wajib to have direction of Qibla during the time of doing a sajda when you're reciting the Quran. Because you know there are 4 times when it's obligatory to recite the Quran. When you're reciting the Quran, there's in 4 surahs there's obligations to do a sajda on a certain ayat. In that, you don't need to be in the direction of the qibla. You don't even need to have your sajdagah or the mud. Don't need to do if you are doing sajda shukr, you don't need to be facing the qibla. I think these are in the book as well. If you, I'm not reading it, I'm just quickly skipping through it. And it talks about praying on the plane and all that. It's better to be facing the qibla. If you don't know, ask somebody. You know, if you're not sure, then you can pray in any direction. So, however, if you know that you're going to reach there in time to prayer on the ground where you know the qibla, what the qibla will be, then you better wait for the plane to land. Okay, let's see the messages. You need to do wudu for that sajda. Is it true that it is makruh to close your eyes? Yeah. Okay, you don't need to do wudu for the sajda shukr or sajda of the Quran. However, if you're reciting the Quran, you better be in wudu because that is what is required. Abbas says it's makruh to close your eyes while in qiyam. It is makruh to close your eyes while in qiyam, ruku and sajda. Doesn't mean that you can't blink. Means just be normal, but your eyes should be focused on the point of your sujood, not looking here and there and everywhere. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff in the book which I've already spoken about, and I got a question once by somebody who was a non-Muslim who said to me, there's no difference between Muslims and Hindus. You know, Muslims, Hindus worship on idols. Muslims also worship a stone which is in a cubic house or cubic building, he said, in Arabia. Is it the same thing? How do you explain? Raise your hand. Do you understand what I said? Hassan raised his hand first. Okay, let's have Hassan unmute yourself. Hassan, speak to me.
When they make the idols, they like make it to represent God, but the cubic building, the Kaaba, is like a representation of the house, of like it's like a holy place.
Okay, yeah. But why did he say you pray to a black stone on a cubic house or cubic building? What's the black stone? Do you know about that, Hassan?
Yeah, the stone in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thank you very much. Okay, Murtaza, say something.
The Kaaba is like it's like a way we used to get to Allah.
I can barely hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry. The Kaaba is like a thing we used to get to Allah. I don't know what it is in English, but like wasila. So
Okay.
we don't call that our God, and we don't call that a representative of the God, but we call it a path of getting there. So yeah.
Okay, Murtaza, I will not agree to that one. Sorry. Okay, but thank you for that one. Alamdar says we are not praying to it, we are in the same direction. That is more like it. And Hassan, your question was also good. Murtaza, we're not using it as a wasila. We're not using the Qibla as our wasila. We are using a Qibla as a point of focus so that there is unity in the way we are praying. Okay? So in a masjid, it's simple. Let's say, give you an example. In the masjid, it's simple because there's a direction in which people pray. But in fact, oh, sorry. Okay, thank you, Zain. Thank you, Alamdar. He's using Alamdar's computer. Thank you. And if you come to my house, let's say, if like 3 or 4 of us are there, one is praying in this direction, one in that direction, in this direction, that will be fairly odd. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has seen and has known people, convolute prayers by, making prayers. People make their prayers different as time goes by. Because what happens is, cultural things come in, people waver a little bit. They're not following the rules as it is required to be ruled for as it is required to be followed as far as the rituals are concerned. and things get convoluted, they get diluted, they get, differentiated over a period of time, which is what happened to Judaism, which has happened to Christianity. So now we as Muslims, we all are trying to pray in one direction to maintain that unity. When we are doing tawaf, which is like a salat, we actually, all of us are going in the one direction. Tawaf means the tawaf of the Kaaba. 7 times we have to circumambulate the Kaaba. So when we go around it, we go around in one direction. So everything is in one direction to maintain uniformity of the prayer, and make sure that everyone is doing it in Arabic, the wajibat, and it is a symbol of unity. It's a powerful symbol of unity, and that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it this way, or Rasulullah has taught us this way, so that you can all pray like that. And the Quran says, like it says here in Surah Hujurat, the believers are surely your others. So maintain peace amongst your brothers. That is very, very important. Or make peace between you or among the brothers. Now, don't try to use differences in culture or skin color or habits as points of being different and keeping away from each other. In fact, if you find a difference in somebody, go and show interest in, ask them how and when and what it is all about. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says again in the Quran that we made you different so that you could get to know each other, not to fight with each other. And of course, there is no difference between black and white or any other color of skin. It is only piety that gets you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is what it is as far as the Qibla chapter is concerned. Now I expect you to do all these questions that you are seeing here and practice it. Now let's go to the next chapter and see what it says. It's a very, very important chapter in which it talks about the steps that you already mentioned. I think that you all know this chapter very, very well. So the steps are Niyyah, Takbiratul Ihram, you have Qiyam, and then you have the Qirat, meaning of Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay, let me give you an exercise. Next week, I want a presentation, and I'm going to pick and choose whoever I want to pick and choose. No sort of designated presenter. I'm going to pick and choose one student from my class and ask them to explain the meaning of the Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Al-Ikhlas. Okay, so everybody be very prepared with the meaning. The reason I'm emphasizing on the meaning is because I want you to understand what you're praying with. What are the tools you're using? It's important that you know what you are saying in your salah so that you can concentrate better. Okay, hold on. Okay, Murtaza, go on.
Someone told me that you're not actually supposed to translate while reading the surahs during salah. So is that right or
what do you mean you're not allowed to translate?
No, like for example, if I'm reading Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, I'm in my head supposed to be thinking all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the world. I'm just supposed to understand what it means rather than make a word for word translation.
Yes, if you understand what you're praying, that is what counts. If you know the gist of it, it's fine. And you know the gist of it better if you understand the translation word by word or the sentence properly.
Okay.
So, I can give you a paraphrase of it, whatever Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen means, but the point is that if you understand it properly, it will become like a second nature to you, so that when you're praying, it is coming automatically to you because it's not your main language, Arabic, you see. For people who are Arabs, it comes more easily to them, the understanding and the comprehension of what the Arabic says. But if you are not an Arabic speaker, then it is important that you understand it word by word so that you can feel it within yourself. You don't have to think about what the meaning is. That is why we make people practice about understanding the translations. Okay, is that Farzan who wants to ask a question? Go on, Farzan.
So when I read the chapter about like praying while facing the Qibla, it said that you have to like face the Qibla when you're on the plane if you know where it is.
Yes.
But because the plane is moving, like won't the direction change?
Yes, it will change, but you have a general direction of the Qibla. For example, if we are flying from here towards the east, you know, the Qibla is going to be towards the east, because Mecca is towards the east from here, or southeast from here. You know, the direction of the Qibla is generally said that if the body part between both your shoulders is facing the general direction of that particular place of the Qibla, then you're facing the Qibla. Okay. If your back is turned, that means your shoulders are turned the other way, and your body, like what you call the face of your body, the front of your body, is not facing the general direction of the Qibla, then you're not facing the Qibla. But if you say the Qibla is this way, and I'm standing like this, that's still the Qibla. I'm standing like this, it is still considered to be a Qibla, not accurate, but it's considered to be the Qibla. Similarly, if I'm coming from the far east and I'm flying into England, my Qibla would be towards the west or northwest on the plane. This is the general thing about facing the Qibla. However, if you are right on top of, for example, the Mecca area, you either wait a few minutes so that the plane passes over and you face the direction that has gone towards the back, or you face, and if it's not come into Mecca yet, or roughly, because nowadays on the planes it's very easy. You have the arrows and the screens and everything is there, so you can easily make out. So it's not even, you don't even need to ask the flight attendant about it. Is that okay, Farzan?
Yeah, and does the same apply if you're on the ground?
Ah, that's a good one. On the ground, you have to do everything you can do to find the Qibla. Even now with smartphones, you can easily get the general idea of where the Qibla is. But you have to find where the Qibla is. Some marja say that if you don't know where the Qibla is, let's say you're in a desert, and you don't have a phone or something like that, you have to pray in all 4 directions to make sure that your prayer is complete. Some marja say that. Some marja say that, you know, you can look at the sun, whatever. If you can look at the sun and find the direction, perfectly fine. Because you know the sun sets on the west and rises on the east, and wherever you roughly are, whichever desert you are in, you can know exactly, not exactly, but roughly where you are. Now, question here has come that if you can't find a place on the plane, can you pray sitting on the seat? Yes. And that is where the problem can be sometimes. You know, if you're facing the direction of travel while you're sitting, let's say, the plane is flying and you're facing this way, in the direction of the plane that is flying. However, let's say you are going towards Singapore, for example, and you've already crossed Mecca. The Qibla is behind you now. Because let's say you could be over India now, and you're going towards Singapore because it's in the Far East. So the thing to do would then be, if the prayer time does not lapse by the time you reach Singapore or you reach the ground, you will still have to pray wherever you're sitting. Yes, and pray sitting. Now, even if you're in the direction of flight and there's no possibility of praying properly, like, you know, where you can do a prayer standing and then sitting in your tashahhud and all that, you can still sit and do your prayers. But make sure you're in wudu, because it's easy to do wudu on the plane as well nowadays. You can go into the bathroom and find a place to do. Okay. So my point was, next week I'll ask somebody from the class, students, to give me meanings of Surah Al-Fatiha and Surah Ikhlas. Okay. So I'm not going to go through that. Then Ruku is the next bit. We all know what it is. I want somebody to tell me the meaning of Ruku, the zikr in Ruku and Sajda as well. So all the questions will be there. Then you stand back up and recite Takbir. Then you go into Sajda. It's very easy, demonstrated on here. And then you have Jalasa. Jalasa is sitting down between the 2 Sajda. So in Arabic, Jalasa means sitting generally. Okay. However, in Urdu and Hindi, it can mean something else very much. So don't go by that Urdu and Hindi meaning of Jalasa. Jalasa means sitting down in Arabic. Okay. Yes, Sabbas.
So you know when you're in Qiyam, do your feet have to be like less than a hand width apart?
No, you can stand comfortably, but you know it shouldn't be more than your shoulder width.
Okay.
It should be considered qiyam. It should be considered standing straight. But you don't have to have your feet all together stuck together. That is not normal qiyam. You can have your feet spaced out, maximum of your shoulder length.
Okay.
Some people, or many people, pray with their feet stuck together. That is up to them. Some people spread their feet like that. If you've been to Masjid Nabi or Makkah, you will notice a lot of people pray with their feet, you know, as if they are about to bend down in the slips to catch a cricket ball. That's how far wide their feet are. That is also incorrect. You can have your feet apart a little bit, maximum of your shoulder length. Does that answer your question, Abbas? Okay, go on again, ask you. Right. Who's writing? Somebody? Da, da, da. Yes, good. Thank you, Abbas. Okay, so then you have the jalasa. Then you have to recite the takbir and do sajda one more time. Then you have to stand up as you get up, recite bihawlillahi wa quwwatihi illa billah wa aquma wa qud arku wasjud. It's the full thing, but you can recite whatever is written in the book. And similarly, in the second rakat, you go and recite your Fatiha and your surah, and then you recite the qunut after that, and then you recite the takbir to go down in your ruku. Okay, Fazan, why do Sunnis put their hands on the stomach while praying? Because they believe that is the sunnah that they were taught. Unfortunately, it is not the sunnah, but they believe from their teachings, from their books of hadith, that you know the prayer was meant to be with putting their hands together on top of your stomach, on your chest. So you recite the qunut, you can recite any dua in the qunut. One of the duas is mentioned in the book in number 11. And then you go to the tashahhud position where you sit down and recite the shahadatain, and you recite the salawat, and then you get up. Okay? And then you go after tashahhud, you stand up in the second rakah. Again, you do the third rakah in which you recite this tasbihat al-arba, which is what is written here. Can you see my mouse, everybody? Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar. I hope you all know it in any case. However, in the third and fourth rakat, there's an option to recite Surah Fatiha only. But the practice of the Aimma alayhi salam was to recite this tasbihat al-arba, which is why Shias recite this. But the option is there to recite Surah Fatiha as well. Okay? The Aimma alayhi salam recite this because there's a lot of sawab for reciting this. And then you have in the last rakah, you recite the tashahhud first, and then you recite the salam. And the salam, the way to recite it is given in the book in number 14 in that chapter as I'm passing by, and the meaning as well. So then after that, it is recommended highly, not just recommended, highly, to recite the tasbih of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. Who recites tasbih of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam after the salat? Raise your hands only. Okay. Okay, okay. MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Some people are not in the habit of reciting the tasbih of Sayyidah Fatima Zahra Salamullah alayha. Get into the habit of doing it. It's highly, highly recommended. MashaAllah, all of you, you do it. It is a very good practice to be. It is one of those things which ensures that your salat, wajib salat, is accepted. And that is called tasbih of Fatima Zahra Salamullah because it is a gift from the Sayyidah to all of us. It was given to her. This history is a bit detailed. I'm just going to try to cut it short for you so that you understand why I'm saying this. Sayyidah Fatima Salamullah was once, you know, she wanted some help in the house, and she asked Rasulullah that, you know, why don't Rasulullah give her a maid so that, you know, she can get some help with the housework and all that. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came and said, I'll give you something which is more useful for you in this world and in the hereafter. And that's when Rasulullah gave her this tasbih. And that's why it is known as tasbih Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. And she told us that we should recite this after every salah, minimum. And if you recite it, generally it protects a person, and it reduces calamities. There's a lot more benefits in detail which I can, in fact, Juma khutbah, we do this about this one. Okay, Murtaza, you have Hassan and Adila. Explain to yourself, Murtaza, first. Come on the mic, please.
When at the time of someone's death, the shaitan comes and puts doubt into their mind, and the people who didn't work hard in their life, they at the very end they stop believing. So then all their life's work doesn't count. But Tasbih Fatima helps with that.
Yes, good stuff. Okay, good stuff.
Drives away the shaitan.
It always drives the shaitan away. Zain, I'm coming to you. Shapara, you raised your hand. You want to say something? If you want to type it. Oh, you say then speak Shapara.
It was something else. About Tasbih Fatima Azhar. It was about that.
Sorry, you're talking too fast. I couldn't catch anything you said.
It's about Tasbih.
Tasbih, yeah.
I remember when you were asking who reads Tasbih. And you said it was about the question.
What was it for? Okay, that's very kind. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. It's this time. It's Alamdar. Okay, Alamdar. You say if you have mentioned we have to ask permission to pray at another temple prayer house. What if it is a stranger's house who is a non-believer? Can we still pray at that location? If he allows you to pray, you can. If he says no, you can't. Okay. Do Sunnis read Tasbih Fatima? Very much so. Very much so. Okay, Abbas. Inshallah. Speak to you soon. And it is Alamdar. So generally speaking, anywhere you're not sure of, you need to seek permission before you can pray. However, it is understood that if it's a Hussainiya, if it's an Imam Barga, it's an Islamic center, if it's a masjid, all Muslims are welcome to pray there. That's why it is there for. You don't need to seek permission if you go into a masjid. Can I pray? It is meant for that. So if you're in somebody's house, any place which is usurped, you're not allowed to pray. Any place which is najis, you need to clean up before you pray. Is that okay? And that point that I mentioned, the first one, it has a big discussion as well. So I want to do something else before I finish the class today. So bear with me, some of you. Now, there's wajibats, you already mentioned, it is there. However, amongst the wajibat, there are 5 things which are called the rukun. Rukun means pillars. If one of the pillars is not there, the salat falls. It's not accepted. It's not considered valid. And of the rukun, remember rukun means pillars. Of the rukun, there are only 5 of them. First of all is the niyyah. You have to have the intention of qurbatan ilallah. Then you have to have takbiratul ihram, so that you say that you started the namaz or the salat. Takbiratul ihram, raise your hands up to the ears, and the palm should be facing the qibla. Can you all see my palms? If this is the qibla, palm should be facing the qibla, and our face should be facing the qibla, obviously. Takbiratul ihram, then qiyam, both before the ruku and after the ruku. You have to stand up after the ruku, because I know a lot of people who say Allahu Akbar, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, and then just stand up like that and go die. Just stand up like this, go. No, you have to stand up and qiyam, stand up straight, and give it a couple of seconds. And then you say Allahu Akbar to go into sajda. If you just do, if you're in the habit of doing this and this, it's not considered correct. It will invalidate your salah. You have to stand up. So then ruku and sajdatain, these are the 5 things which are rukun. What's the difference between a rukun and wajibat of the salah? Anybody raise your hand, please? Murtaza? Anybody else? Okay, Murtaza, go on. Tell me.
A rukn is like a key wajibat, like one of the main. Some of the other wajibat can be rectified if like you miss it out. They can be rectified with sajda saha, but rukns, I don't think they can.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I mean, a rukun is something that if you miss, if you forget unintentionally, if you miss unintentionally, your salah is invalid. You have to start all over again. Whereas the rest of the wajibat, if you forget, then your salah is not invalid. Okay, but if you don't do it intentionally, then the salah is invalid from all the wajibat that is there. But in a rukun, the difference is if you forget or if you unintentionally miss it out, your salat is invalid. You have to do it all over again. So if you don't have niyyah, if you don't do takbiratul ihram, if you don't do the qiyam before and after ruku, if you don't do the sajdatain, your salat is invalid, whether you forgot one or whatever. So that's why it's important that you pay attention, that Allah is watching you and you're talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the rest others, like it's mentioned here in this part, they're all ghayr rukun. So if you miss it by mistake, it is still okay. Your salat is considered valid. It's not going to be ideal, and you can do sajda sahu after that to correct it. So this is what it is about the wajibat of salah. Now next week we are going to have a lot of other discussions on salah, inshallah ta'ala. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Wherever you are, please recite your salah. Now, salawat. Sorry. Okay. Now you can ask any questions if you want. Sorry, battery died. Okay. You can recharge your battery, Murtaza. Any questions on fiqh related issues or anything else? Please go for it. And whoever wants to leave the class, you're welcome to do that. And if you have not yet, please register for the exam before the 28th of June or by the 28th of June. And if you have any questions, please ask the admin in Majlis Ulama, especially in your case, Imran. If you said it's okay for you to study book 7 exam, perfectly fine. Hassan, in your case as well, you should speak to them. And whoever else is wanting to take book 7 exam, okay, Murtaza, go on. What question do you have, if I can answer?
I'm like similar to Hassan and Imran, but no exactly. I have studied the other books, but with a different madrasa, so I haven't actually sat like the exams and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that madrasa, they used to do it like age related. So I knew the stuff, but like I haven't officially done the book. All the books.
Yeah, I get you. I have no problem with you taking the exam or anybody else taking the exam, but clarify it with the admin people.
What's the email?
You can write to, actually, brother Amir Saqlan, I don't have his email. In fact, I don't have the email of the admin, but I can find out for you and ask Amir to actually contact you directly.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. And I'll mention the cases because you're not alone, it seems here, Murtaza. But yes, Farzan, same thing. Okay. Make sure you clarify with the admin. I have no problem with anybody taking the exam because I've seen you all in class. Some of you are very good. You have your knowledge up to date. Some of you just need a little bit work on it because you attended the classes now. You'll be fine with it. Inshallah, next week we shall do more about Salat, and we'll also do some of the stuff on history, inshallah. Akhlaq, I expect you guys to know, because you have time now. What is it? Today is 19th of June. So you have more than 2 weeks to prepare for the exam. I expect you to read the chapters on Akhlaq. So the questions are going to be from all the chapters, even though we have not studied much of Akhlaq. If you have any issues with that, please talk to me. Can I send you my email to you? Of course you can, but I think the admin team has all the email addresses of the people who have registered in this course. That's why you managed to register. Yes, you're doing the test online, Shapara. Yes. Yeah, the admin team has the email addresses of all the students that are in my class, because that's how they gave you the login to log into these classes. So I will ask them to email you, Farzan and Murtaza, with whatever they want to, if they want to clarify something. We are doing the test online, and it'll be a 1 hour test. You'll probably not need that 1 hour, but you just have it so that you don't, rush into things. And Hassan, okay? So everybody, inshallah, you'll have the answer with me directly by next class. So hopefully I'll be able to clarify it to you in class as well, to all of you in the middle of the class. Okay, yes, Ghazanfar.
No, nothing, sir.
Okay. Who else wants to ask any questions? What about the subject related? Forget about the test. You'll all do the test fine if you do the class properly and revise it once or twice. Make sure you revise all the chapters on akhlaq. Just read through it. It's like a story. It's like talking about good habits and all that. Just a few things you need to remember which are technical for an exam. But I won't ask you difficult questions, believe me. It'll all be generic, and it'll all be something that you will know in any case. I think most of you will get 100% because it's going to be a very easy exam. Yes, it is going to be my questions, Imran, and you know the kind of questions I ask you in class. That is, okay, Murtaza says, can the ghusl of submersion be done in water that is not good? No, because it'll be impure. It has to be done in water which is good. If you get inside it, you made the water impure. But cool water is not going to be impure. It should be done in a pool or in a tub, like you say. It's not 384 liters, but anything which is bigger than 384 liters, you can do it. Is it true that you get more sawab if you use the beads to read the tasbih? Not necessarily. Anything you do, any worship you do, this is for all of you. The question is a very good question, but I'm giving a generic answer on every act of ibadah. Wherever you pray, whatever you pray on, your intentions, khushu and khuzu are the main things that lead you to greater sawab. What is the meaning of khushu and khuzu? Anybody know? Thank you, Tazib. Anybody know the meaning of khushu and khuzu? Raise your hand. Nobody? I'm surprised. Ghazanfar, no. No, it's got nothing to do with that. Khushu and khuzu are basically your condition of the heart and your outward condition. How you have the condition in your heart and how you're performing the prayer externally. These are khushu and khuzu. Any act needs to have khushu and khuzu to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't matter whether you tasbih on your fingers, you do on plastic beads made in China, or you do on the turba of Karbala. Everything has fazila. For example, the turba of Karbala has fazila on plastic beads made in China or stones. But everything, all these things will bear witness to the fact that you did tasbih on it on the day of judgment, inshallah ta'ala. What matters is your condition of heart. How closely are you connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How are you feeling? Are you really talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because it's your meeting time with Allah. So that is the most important thing, that you need to have the condition of heart and the performance of the acts in a proper manner so that it is considered as a proper salat. The more khushu and khuzu you have in your heart and your actions, the better any act of ibadah is. Or any act of ibadah, not just salat. Is that okay, Fazan? So, Ghazanfar, no, where did you get sleep and taste and smell and taste? Good. Okay. Any more questions, please?
I
You
don't
can talk
know.
to me. Talk to me on the mic. Any of you? You don't need to type. Zain, I haven't heard your voice today. Where are you? Has Zain gone?
Pardon, sir?
Is that Zain?
I'm here, sir.
Okay, yeah. It's very quiet today.
Yep.
Are we going to see you in the lesson of Akhlaq tomorrow with Maulana Hujjat Islam Sheikh Shamali?
Yeah, maybe, sir.
Yeah, it's a very good lesson. It's the most amazing book that he's teaching. If you all can get in there, perfect. Otherwise, not, no problem. If you don't have the link, I can send you the link. If I have your number, that is. Zain has the link somehow, so
You
can
know,
pass
he
it
has
on.
your number, sir. He's in the group chat.
Yeah, I know. Farzan, okay, Murtaza, I will need your numbers. I will need your numbers, and you need to seek permission from your parents before you give me your numbers. Farzan, did you ask your parents' permission? I'm not sending it to anybody unless they've spoken to their parents. Okay, Murtaza, I can't email it to you. Farzan, did you say? Okay, your mom told. Good. Let me send it to Farzan. And then Murtaza, send me your number. Ask your parents first, not email. I've got this dangerous email, Murtaza. Where is it? Okay, let's have a look. Farzan said you need to store you first here. Farzan, you got WhatsApp on your phone? All of you got WhatsApp? Okay, send 4. Where's Alamdar today?
I'm here, sir.
You are not asking any interesting questions anymore.
That's all the questions I had today.
That was Zain mainly, wasn't he?
No, half of them was me.
It was me.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, what? Sorry for?
Not being good enough.
What do you mean not being good enough? I didn't say that. Who was that, by the way? Was that Zain?
Yeah, he's just messing around again.
Yeah, it's very bad. He's messing around with his teacher. Astaghfirullah. Okay, he made me make a mistake. Okay, where's it gone?
No.
Hey, stop screaming. Farzan, stop screaming.
Sir, it was my brother, not me.
It's your brother. He's messing with you, is he?
Yeah.
Is that Zayan, your brother?
Yes.
Okay, I've got Farzan's number and I need what's Murtaza's number. Farzan, are you in book 7 group? Which book 7 group? Farzan? The WhatsApp group. Well, I'm not part of that group. Maybe it's a parents and admin group. Unless you are in the class 7 Al-Qaim group, which I don't think so. Okay. Murtaza, I've got your number now. Okay, I'll send you the link to both of you. Inshallah ta'ala. Any more questions? I was wondering what you meant we can't pray at a location that has been usurped. Ah, good question. Good question. Is that Zain or Alamdar?
It's me, Alamdar.
Okay. Now, any place that you know does not belong to a person who has taken it by unlawful means, Islamically unlawful means, and he or she gives permission to pray there, you cannot, when you know that this has been taken by unlawful means. That is a meaning of usurp. So you can't pray there. It's like, for example, I encroach upon somebody's land and I call it mine. And you know that it's not mine. And then you ask me, can I pray there? And I say, yeah, pray there. I build a room on it, for example. And you know that that land was belonging to my neighbor or my brother or sister. So I cannot, even if I give you permission, you cannot pray there because you know that I have usurped that place. Astaghfirullah, may Allah not make me do those kind of things. Inshallah ta'ala. Did you get that? Usurp could be in any form, but the main thing is, that was a simple example. The main thing is that anything that does not belong to a person and he claims that it is his or hers is a usurp thing. What if you don't know? If you don't know, or if you come to my house and I said, this is my house, and you say, can I pray here? I say, of course you can pray. You don't know. So that way, yes, of course. When you don't know, the rulings don't apply. It's only when you know, when there is taklif, when you are a mukallaf, that's when the rulings apply. For example, if somebody who's not baligh, the rulings don't apply. Somebody who's not sane, the rulings don't apply. So is that clear, Fazan? Any more questions? Good. Any more questions, please? Okay. I can't see you, Ghazanfar. Okay, your camera was on for a bit. Alhamdulillah. I'll give you another 5 minutes if you have any questions. Have you added me to the group? I don't have a group, Farzan. I have a group of students who used to study with me in the madrasa in Slough, with whom I have a group. Are you in Slough madrasa? Do I know you by any other name? Farzan? But that's the only group of students I have. That's it. So I didn't expect that. And my students who are from the Al-Qaim Center in Slough, we always had a group with them. So I have your number now, but I don't have you in any form, any kind of a group. Neither do I have any other students in any group, apart from my Al-Qaim students. I will send you the link, inshallah.
Sir, I'm in a group which says MUS online book 7 lessons.
Oh, I'm not in that. I'm not even in that group. So how can I add you? You need to add me into that group, I guess. Or maybe it's a parents group, or I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I think it's a parents group.
Yeah.